guys, my name's Lindy Cowling. I'm really pleased to be here, and if you want to check out my background, I have a website which is www.lindycowling.co.uk. I have a background connected with mediumship, clairvoyance, healing, the soul, hypnotherapy, channeling, and a 3-year background in the Twin Flame Union. But really what I'm all about is about the heart and getting that information out there and that vibration out there to do with the heart. So that's really what I try and do, and I get involved with things. I do a lot on the radio, national and international radio. Some of those links again are on my website. And I very much resonate, and I have to say this because I very much resonate with the work, but also the vibration, the frequency that people like Gold Ray Twin Flames put out. People like Kaya Pacha, Tom Lesher, people like Jeff Brown. They're all coming from this what we call the heart energy, infinite waters, fantastic stuff. You know, there's so many of them, and I'm not even naming half of them. But these are all people that are coming from this space of what we call heart energy. Heart energy, really, if I had to simplify it, and the Twin Flame Union and the Twin Flame templates and ascension are all one and the same thing. And that's not just a thought, that's what we call a knowing. There's a difference in us. When we have a thought on something, that's an actual belief, if you like. And when you have a belief or a thought on something, sometimes that can be part of your personality, but 95% of the time that can be what we call programming. And you're going to notice a lot in these YouTubes that I refer to programming a lot, because most of the way that we live, that we think is our personality or our ideas and choices in lives, aren't. A lot of those decisions are actually to do with the society systems and the kind of like programs that we're in. And this is so much part of what I talk about, because the heart is everything the opposite to that. The heart is actually living, or I put it in layman's terms, living from your intuition. So taking decisions that you know inside, your gut feeling, we'll call it your gut feeling. You know your gut feeling, you know what, I should really be going A, but logic tells me I've got to go B, but everything in me is telling me I've got to go A. You know, 10 years ago, you might have got away with that bullshit, quite frankly. And sometimes on these videos, you know, I'm gonna be using words like that, and hopefully I won't have to use stronger words than that. But you know, I may be somebody that considers themselves to work in the spiritual arena, but I'm very much a human being. I'm very much a normal person, and I call a spade a spade. That's part of my authenticity. That's part of my honesty. I won't dress things up. I will say them as I've experienced them. And there is a difference between what we call the knowing and a feeling and a belief. And even for me, a difference between that and clairvoyance, something outside of me in a way, or tapping in outside of me. Source energy and all your knowing and everything that you ever need is in the energy of the heart. And this isn't I'm not going to dress this up. I'm not going to dress it up with hearts and flowers, literally. I'm going to say it as it is. The knowing is something that when you tap into it, it's again, I'm going to use this word, it can't be contaminated, it can't be interfered with. Belief systems can't influence it. Other people's opinions can't influence it. What you read can't influence it, for good or bad. It's just a knowing. It is what it is. And this energy in the heart, it's not a myth, it's a real thing. I'm not great on the physics side of it. Again, I'm being honest, you know, but I can tell you that it's approximately the energy of the heart is a magnet. a magnet bigger than I can even probably get across on camera, but there's something that around about 50,000 times the energy field generated from the heart generates a field about 50,000 times greater than that of the human brain. So any endeavor, anything that you create or have ideas about, you need to take them down through this energy, because this is the energy of the time. This energy is what we call the energy of ascension. This energy is what can change your physical circumstances, your personal circumstances. This energy is very, very positive, healing, loving energy, and it's called the energy of creation. And I will keep referring to the difference, if you like, between manifestation and creation. They are different. Manifestation can work, same as positive thinking can work. But there is always that element of the brain and thoughts getting in the way to interfere with that. There is always that element of other people's opinions or belief systems, or, here we go again, that word, programming, getting in the way of that. But nothing can tamper with the energy of the heart. That can't be corrupted or contaminated. So when you have, say for example, you really want to create some kind of project to benefit people, and it isn't just the flow of money orientated, it has to do with actually I have a humanitarian purpose here, I want to help people. If you were to just spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day just taking yourself into heart energy, and the only way you can access heart energy, well, there's two ways. You have to access it either by tapping into the vibration of joy, and everything is energy, so everything is vibration, so joy makes a sound. It makes an actual sound, like the frequency of a dolphin. We can't hear it with these ears, but we can hear it with these ones. Or you can tap into it with the energy of love. Not love like you fancy the girl in the supermarket and want to get her cacks off. Not that kind of love. That's not love. Although it might feel like love in the program. I'm talking about a different kind of love, the higher level of vibration. And you can do this by either having triggering memories, sitting quietly. I wouldn't use the word meditating, but that's as close as I can get. You could meditate if you're into that. But sitting quietly in a room, and you could sit in complete peace, or you could play a piece of music that moves you, or look at a piece of art that moves you, or sit in the trees, or go by the sea, anywhere that moves you, inspires you. But to get into that place of the heart, you have to have the feeling with it. I can tell you now, this is not a belief, this is the knowing that you cannot think your way to the heart, because it's too low. You can't think your way here. You have to feel it. Everything has to be felt, really felt, to get into here. And this is where the blokes amongst us, God rest their souls, are really struggling, because a lot of the men really struggle with coming into their heart because they're conditioned not to tap into their emotions and feelings so much. The women amongst us, you know, we are very hyper emotional. So for us, this is easier in some ways, this journey, because we're halfway there, because we're used to expressing emotions and tapping in like that. And guys, it's much harder for them to do that. They're not used to it. They're used to being much more conditioned and analytical. Yeah, before everybody barrages me with loads of emails, there are exceptions to this. The wonderful soul behind the camera, Kai Thomas, is an exception to this. He's very much from the heart. There are guys that are from the heart, and there are more and more of them getting there. But they have, I mean, I'm saying this in defence of men. They are struggling with this. A lot of them are struggling with it at the moment, because they try and think, they logically try and think their way into their heart space. You can't. The easiest way, I'm going to say before I wrap this YouTube up and we go, you know, on to another one, is to say, keep it simple. So what I teach people when I go out and do my inspirational talks and public speaking, I teach people to take a simple memory, because joy is a vibration, love is a vibration, childlike joy is the highest vibration you can ever hit to open the heart, because it's that childlike purity. So take yourself for 5 minutes a day into a memory, real or imagined. It doesn't matter if you're making this memory up, it still activates in the same way. This is the knowing, I know this. You take yourself into a memory. My one, for example, was a 7-year-old kid on the beach, me as a 7-year-old, all the feelings of the sun, the sand, the sounds of the sea. It's really simple, don't complicate it, keep it simple. Digging in the sand, the feeling, not just visuals, feeling the sun, hearing the sea, smelling the sea, feeling the sand, feeling that excitement as a kid of the school holidays just gone forever. You feel it so strongly. I'm shut my eyes now because I'm doing it, it's making me buzz, is that I'm starting to smile, because you link in and you start to smile. Now when you have this, and it can be a childhood picnic, climbing trees, it doesn't have to be childhood, but I can promise you that gets this cranked open even further and quicker, is that when you do this, it activates that higher frequency. But get it strong enough so you are smiling like a Cheshire cat, because if you're not smiling with it, you're not feeling it. And feeling that joy is what opens the heart. My guides always tell me the easiest way for humanity to open the heart is it's easier for them than the memory of joy and feeling joy than love, because our human experience has a lot of connotations that are negative associated with love. I loved this woman, I lost her. I loved my dog, it died. I loved this, I loved that. Whereas for joy, it's just much easier, and it's more or less the same sound. So that sound, people will turn around to me at my talk and say, surely it can't be that easy. But this is the beauty of it. The more simple it is, the more it's all about the heart. And that actually is a perfect line to finish on. So I will love you and leave you, and be back with you soon. Thank you very much.